Here I go. Greetings and welcome to the Saroth Magick experiment. I didn't... I was talking, like I was sleeping after work, and then I was talking to my beautiful friends Keats and Samantha. I wasn't going to do a stream, and I thought no, because the neighbours don't like the guitar, you see. And who can blame them, but the Polish guys are in full party swing, so I thought I'd just drop in. I hate to tell you, but my monitor is so far away. Hey, Philip, I can see what's happening, but I can't always, like, not that I'm going to get like 150 people in chat, but yeah, I just thought I'd come on because I actually said on Facebook I would, and I'm going to try and like put a bit more into the channel from now on. Yes, very nice to see you, Philip. So, I was going to review, well, actually, I might review one or two books tonight. I'm more tired than I expected to be. Work caught up with me, guys. But I said I would do like 5 books, so I'm going to do like maybe 2, 3. Oh, what shall we pick? What shall we pick? Definitely that one. Arbatel. Okay, so I've just pretty much picked a random 3, but I do love each one. So I'll start with this one, which is gorgeous. It's from Scarlet Imprint, Dr. Alexander Cummins, and sorry, I forget the name of his absolutely beautiful book. Scarlet Imprint do gorgeous, gatefold sleeves and all that stuff. You know, I mean, this was expensive, but I mean, they do fucking fantastically expensive. Which, yeah, everybody's got to make a living, I guess. But it's about a bizarre working that was done in, like, I think it was around the time of the Napoleonic Wars. Yeah, Humphrey Gilbert and John Davis. Humphrey Gilbert was like a wild, rabid Protestant bastard by the sound of it, you know, a coloniser and all that, and his pal John Davis, during the spring of 1567, were doing scrying work, and I believe there may, you know, there's nothing wrong with sex magic, but I believe there may have been some sex magic between these two gentlemen, because I believe at the time it was quite common for a guy like Gilbert Humphreys, a landowner and a you know, important man, to have a stable boy. I'm not suggesting John Davis was a stable boy, of course, but you know, I find it how because they get themselves worked up into, you know, this book. I thought it was very psychedelic. You know, the way it's described, their workings. They're like, are they awake during these experiences, or are they in some kind of trance? Or because it's dreamlike. It's extremely dreamlike. You know, I don't know how good my camera is, but those are the actual. No, my camera's never going to get that. But the Scarlet and Brent have beautifully enclosed the original manuscript in with the English. So what they're doing is crystal scrying, but Gilbert Humphreys, owing to his brutal nature, and you know, he'd been in Ireland where he was doing terrible things, I believe, for the English fuck Archie. So he would conjure spirits, but then be extremely sadistic to them. You know, he's like, if they're fire spirits, like stick them in water for a minute. And it was pretty crazy, but I mean, it's an absolute beautiful document of its time, and it shows you how 16th century, early 17th century magicians viewed magic and the processes of it, and they obviously got results, you know what I mean? And I also like that the Magick is spelt with an E in the end. I like it. So it's like magic with a K, but stick on an extra E. Like, why not? Right. The next one is a book when I was really trying to get to grips with ritual magic, and you know, I really wanted to make contact with what you could call spirits, entities, ultra-terrestrials, whatever they are, whatever the thing. There's no doubt in my mind that we are getting communications from other species, beings, whatever you like to call them, whether they're us in the future. I mean, who can understand the complexities of time alone? I do believe it's perfectly possible that we're living in, like the multiple universe seems to suggest, that each decision we make branches off, because everything that can happen must happen. But that again, that doesn't sound economical enough to me. Everything that must happen, everything that will happen must happen. A lot of energy to make everything must happen all the time. But what do I know? Anyway, Arbatel, lovely, simple magic book, but you know, a lot of people say, yes, it's absolutely complete. You just have to read what it says and do the thing. But it's, you know, it lists a great heap of stuff that he never gets into in this. But the actual idea of it, beautiful, is to contact the Olympic spirits, which are a great way, I'm told, for beginners to get into summoning entities which are not like the Grimwarum Verum or the heavy or demonic types, but they are benevolent, kind, easy to reach. I think actually the film Dark Song was based on the appearance of it. Definitely looked like an Arbatel. Oh no, they were doing Arbatel and that. It was a load of shite anyway. Well, entertaining, but magically not correct in any way. So, yeah, I like the simplicity of it. It's almost like a prayer book. Arbatel, concerning magic, or the Numinatica, spirit of the ancients, along with the Magi of God's people, as well as the Magi of the Gentiles, for the illumination of the glory of God and his love of mankind. Now for the first time revealed out of darkness into the light, against Magi and the despisers of the gifts of God, for the benefit and pleasure of all those who truly and piously find pleasure in the creations of God and use them with gratitude for the honour of God and the benefit of their neighbours. That was, I like it. And there's the prayer from the Arbatel. I had it memorised absolutely flat, and now I can't remember it because I haven't done it for ages, but I went through a bit of a Christian phase, not for long, but my friend Robert Powell, I'm sure he wouldn't mind mentioning him, he goes by other names, but he got me into Christian magic for a while and got me kind of thinking, Jesus is real, but I'm not so sure, but anyway. So yes, it's a very workable, very beautiful, very gentle introduction to magic. I would advise younger viewers to start with this one, you know. And the third and final book I'm previewing tonight is BJ Swain, who I had on the channel a long time ago. Very clever guy. He's been in the, you know, he's kind of like a veteran magician. He's been through the Llama. I think he's still in the OTO. Very good writer, very clever man. Luminarium. Again, spirit conjuring. That is really what magic is about, to get information, intelligence from higher dimensional beings, ultra-terrestrials, spirits, gods, whatever you want to call them. We are not the top of the food chain at all. So this offers very simple, step-by-step, working through the planets and the. But I like he's added a lot of goetic touches. You know, it's not like Wicca. It's very good, and so what have we got? Well, let's do this. The invocation of the ancestors. The magician now calls upon the ancestors. The magician knocks 3 times on the ancestor altar and then touches the coins. Sharon, ferryman, I call upon you. Bring forth my ancestors and allies, that you and they may partake of these offerings, and they may aid me in this magic. I call upon Hades and Persephone to bring forth my ancestors and strengthen them, and partake with them of these offerings. The magician lights frankincense and myrrh. Frankincense is a brilliant all-round incense, and it's also, believe it or not, you can eat it, and it has a mild sedative effect, I've found. Yeah, I eat all my incenses, smoke them, you know. Right, the magician, I give that this world may be made sweet for you, that through frankincense you remember that you are holy, and through myrrh you may find strength in death. Beautiful stuff, and he gives you every stage for every day of the week for any magical occasion. So you can't really go wrong with BJ Swain, Luminarium. He's not trying to make it Arte and breathtakingly novel. He's just laying down the facts as a hard-working magician that he is. So I've got some interesting guests coming up. I think, I am a little bit wary of people contacting me to come on the channel. I'd really like to do invites, but I've been speaking to a couple of guys who seem to have some very interesting ideas, so I'm going to open up to that. But one of them is I Temple of Set kind of dude. I think it would be interesting to get on. Whoa. It's hard to get your fingers in it first. That's what she said. So yeah, I'm loving the guitar. Another guy I'm hopefully getting on is Dave Lee. So there's a Dave Lee grind who is probably coming on, and there's a Dave Lee British guy who's just called Dave Lee. Easy to get them confused. But I think hopefully Dave Lee is going to come on the channel as well, because he was one of the original Chaos Magic guys in the Yorkshire of the late 70s, which I never really talked about to Richard Cole much about where he was at the time, but he's so Yorkshire. And, you know, like I said last time, if you don't understand a Yorkshireman's sense of humour, you're never going to get his books. And the Horus toy I have been working on, it's a difficult mind exercise, because it means that you're simultaneously focused on a very visual and defined result, if you could call it that, and on the other hand you've got to forget that you're doing it for the last bit of the mind bomb. So I'm interested to see how that will pan out. Other magical work, well, I was speaking to Keats and Sam earlier on tonight. Obviously we're going to be doing Haunt Quinox 2023. We're already, wow, what a bunch of fucking professionals we are. Yeah, so we're planning the annual Haunt Quinox, when everybody comes on and does their party piece. Great, I honestly think it's one of the best things I've ever been at. Oh, Bobby, you're in the crowd, motherfucker. Okay, right, I fancy skinning a wee one. Skinner, how can I keep amused while I do that? I will talk while I roll my joints. So another interesting, I think I've said this before, but the first lodge I ever joined when I got on the internet, because I'd read Magick, and because I just looked around the pages, and the Horus mat seemed like balanced and sensible, not ridiculous. Nobody was swanning around pretending to be anything. So I joined and got to moderator, and I did a fantastic initiation ritual. I think Mitch Stargrove, you might have been involved in that. There's a different head of OHO, or whatever you call them. It was a different. So now my friend Denny Sargent is he's kind of the top wolf in that pack now. So it's all coming together really interestingly, because I was casting around. I wanted to find the real magic. What's the real magic? What's the stuff that works? And different strokes for different folks. For some people, it's the strict Solomonic method. For some people, it's fucking free form dance with, you know, what you call that thing? Glossalia. Yeah, glossalia. Yeah, I love that word. Just spouting out language. I think language is possibly somehow coexistent with evolution. It's got to be, because language, like William Burroughs says, is a kind of something not. I mean, yeah, it's just the evolving brain. You know, occult and magic-y people are always looking for another explanation for things that have probably already been proved by. Oh, yeah, this is one of the things that interested me about Dave Lee, the English occultist. I just hope I can remember it because I'm stoned. Yeah, he said that. Damn, it was leading perfectly from that point. Where was I? Fuck's sake. I could have, like, mic dropped at that moment. Dave Lee. God damn it. You can never find it when you need it. But he's got some very, very interesting progressive ideas about God damn psychedelics, anyway, and healing and all that. Yeah, damn, that's so annoying when you just black out. Not black out, I'm not quite there yet. So, yes, upcoming on the channel, the whole Temple Babylon Quran's on, and what a terrifying night that's going to be, with like about 2 million members all holding torches and screaming for revolution. But maybe a select few of us will make it through to the group session, which will be on the 30th of October. Really looking forward. You know, I am a total die-hard member of TBC, as those in the know call it. So yeah, lots to come from them. I mean, Leah, Bobby, Groucho, they're an artistic powerhouse that just keep cranking it out, and I can only ride the waves. Ride the waves, but that's what I do as an occult observer. But of course I do magic, and I've done it for many years, and I'm sure I will for many other years. It's just I honestly don't feel like I need a daily practice at this point, although it's never bad. But my daily practice is getting to work and getting back and playing a little bit of guitar. Yeah. I think I might go a little bit further into the brilliant, excellent book of Magick. Maybe give you a taste of the prose and all that. I mean, Scarlet Imprint, I've said many times, Hadean Press and Scarlet Imprint are my favourite publishers. Scarlet Imprint do everything so artfully. Hadean Press is more punk rock to me. Gets the pamphlets out. You know, it's so cool. You'll get a pamphlet with just like one little walk through a certain area of, you know, it's magic culture is blooming, man, because I do believe this is the age of Horus, perhaps modulated by Matt, I don't know quite, but we're experiencing a massive social change. You know, the internet thing is enough in my mind for proof of the Aeon of Horus. We've got someone. You are watching television, the duality paradox machine, learning machine. I like it. And you've got Greek letters in your Greek letters, eh? I don't know who you are. Purple. Maybe is that a therefore sign? No, it's not a therefore sign. Actually, my friend Keats Ross actually came up with beautiful therefore sign, and I thought it was like something I hadn't learned, but I now think it's something he made up himself. He's a fucking genius, that boy, and he never stops working. He's like redoing the We the Hallowed website. He's making it easier to upload for members. So yeah, I think it's going to be important in the coming years, to be honest, because you start off as a youngster and you end up 50 years old and you're one of the older ones that can guide the little puppies on the occult road to disaster, drug addiction and death. I'll have a little fiddle on my guitar. I don't mean that literally. I'll have a little fiddle on the guitar, might have worked better. Fiddle on the guitar. I do, but not when anybody's watching. Yes. Oh yeah, so I was going to read a bit out of the excellent book of Magick. So just to recap, this was written in, it was a serious experiment on behalf of the British Empire to get information from these spirits who to these guys were demons, devils, and to be treated like well, let's just say there were echoes in the world about how they treated these entities. So I'll just burn anything. I have time to look for anything. Let's just see. Right, here is Experiments of Azazel or Azazel. Is it the same one probably? Angkor, Anikor and Anilus. Go to the grave of a dead body that you know the name of, and call him thrice by his proper name at the head of the dead body, and say thrice name, and after that thus, I conjure thee Azazel, that and Lord of dead men's bodies, that go into the court, and ask leave that he may come to me this night. I don't think that's going to work. If I could condense it would be good, but it havers on in that old English bloody accent, so I won't do it. I'll maybe read the introduction to Luminarium from my good friend BJ Swain, who's been on the show. It's always interesting to see what the guys that have actually been in the trenches with Magick and not just sitting about and speculating it have to say about Magick. So let's I might skip over it, but a boom in niche occult publishing, self-publishing and academic interest in the occult has brought us to a point where we have access to so much more occult knowledge than any generation of magicians in the Anglosphere in centuries. Absolutely, we're flooded. And this is one of the things I found hard when I came to, well, among other things. Yeah, you know, there's so much when I got on the internet compared to my little book shop. There was so much information and it overwhelms you, and you try and understand 17 systems at once, and it doesn't work. Just go towards the one that you feel the pull to, I would say. Right, yep. With more communication between practitioners, this is a key point, we've also gained more knowledge of living traditions of magic from beyond the Anglosphere. So believe it or not, guys, in Africa and loads of other places, they haven't had the Christian whitewash that has been cast upon our history, and they've practiced a spirit-based religion uninterrupted by Christianity, really. Or no, that's not true. In certain things, you know, they've had to hide themselves under Christianity because they were fucking slaves. Over the last 15 to 20 years, magicians have changed the shape of our understanding of magic and broken free from the cage of Victorian dramaticism. We have more and more magicians understanding magic and the world itself as a living organism. We are encountering a world of vibrant spirits, both those recorded in books of conjuration and those living in the streams and trees around our houses. Another beautiful point. Those passed along in concrete jungles where we adventure day to day. Breaking free from the psychological paradigm coincided with the expansion of access to occult knowledge. The return of animism coincides with an increase in numbers of magical practitioners, but this is also because of the age of bloody Horus, isn't it? My friend Richard, who I absolutely adore, Richard, Bobby, Leah, Keats, Sam, Derek. I have to keep chatting my friends because they're beautiful people. Yeah. We now have instant means of global communications, absolutely, which allow people to access the spirit traditions which call to them. Yeah. So honestly, for me, since that, I've been telling lots of people about my holiday. Oh, we got the ferry and we got the train. The actual profound part of the holiday was I had another mushroom trip, and it was I just keep getting this fucking Viking thing. I don't know if it's just because it couldn't be so facile as that I like the Viking show, and now they're telling me I'm some kind of Viking. But who cares? But Odin is ever present now. Isis, I swore an oath to her, and Osis. Osis. I mean, I do believe that in some way, breaking it down to psychology, you have your archetypes, and then you have gods for every single possible archetype. But they are living because we've fed them energy by making them tulpas, you know, and doing beautiful rituals and art, and you know, anything that exists in the human imagination exists, you know. Like I'm sure I heard who's that guy again? Anthony Peake. Yeah, I quite like his stuff. He's he's a little bit, yeah, no, he's good, he's great. He's very intelligent. So just before I interviewed Julian Vane, I just happened to turn on YouTube and Julian Vane was being introduced to Anthony Peake. And Anthony Peake is definitely one of these guys that's trying to make mechanisms of, he's not an occultist, but he's very into near-death experiences, you know, all that kind of stuff. that's where I want my magic to go, is to continue the experiments with the ultra-terrestrials, with Temple Babylon Choronzon, with We the Hallowed, and I was very skeptical about independently existing intelligences that could influence human life, but now I am totally sold on the idea, but I think it goes a lot deeper than that. There's many. We don't have a unified theory yet, although I did think that Andrew Gallimore's these entities are ultimately wise because they're ultimately old and they've seen everything. I do think there's a bit of weight to the argument that that could explain this two-way thing that's been going on throughout human history, and possibly prompted human history writing, that final evolution, the stoned ape thing. So I'm all about evolution. So is Richard Cole, so is Bobby Hale, so is Leah Faris, so is Keats Ross, so is Samantha, Sam, Shadow. So we all are, man. We all are. Okay, I'm going to stop mumbling. How long have I done? I was hoping the Greek dude would. Okay, right. I'll play out with a little bit of scorching something or other. So, yeah. Okay, right. Love you guys. Shit. I meant to talk about the 107 Sun Venus ritual, Bobby, but we'll talk about that on chat. And then, it's broadcasting. Temple Aberdeen is broadcasting loud and clear, baby.